The Table is Yours podcast contains content that may not be suitable for some audiences, such as themes of violence, swearing, sexual language, alcohol, and death. We advise you to check the episode description for any other specific content warnings. Please, if any sequences or episodes are ever triggering or uncomfortable in any way, we ask you to take a pause from the episode or skip it entirely. It is important that our table is a safe space for everyone, including you.
The Table is Yours podcast is a role-playing adventure show where a bunch of friends around a table and through video call play tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons. Together, we hope to bring the joy and fun of our game to you, wherever you are, as if you are a part of our table. For when you're sitting, creating, and playing with us, the table is yours.
Hello, and welcome to The Table is Yours, a role-playing adventure show where a bunch of friends sit around a table and sometimes through Discord and play Dungeons & Dragons and other RPGs, TTRPGs down the line, potentially. My name is Vic, I'm your DM, your best friend, your host.
Hold on, wait on! I'm letting you do this intro, but I'm still the DM here.
My name is Vic, my pronouns are they, them. I play resident rat boy Terrence Astonis, and I'm doing the intro today for whatever reason. That is Con. They are your DM, your GM, your best friend, and they, you can find them at Kryles, and their pronouns are they, them, and then all of the other pronouns of every NPC. Up next is me. Hi, I'm Vic. I already gave my intro. Next, Andrew. This is Andrew. His pronouns are he, him. He plays Wash. Also he, him. You can find him in a well trying to get out. Next, Heather Alexander, that's your name. You can find her at Land of Lore. She plays She Erbos, a sorcerer rogue. Very cool, very sexy, big boobs. Her pronouns are she, they. Next up we have Sid. Her pronouns are she, her. Also plays Codex, the chaotic little rabbit. My silly rabbit. Also she, her. She plays my silly rabbit. Next, we have Becca. She plays Isabella Ballador. Both of their pronouns are she, her, and she is the tiefling paladin bard of the group. Next, we have Jake. He plays Finley de Galilei, the Fearbolg. Jake is a Fearbolg, and Finley de Galilei is a human playing D&D. Next, you can find us at TTIYDND on Instagram, TikTok, other stuff. We have a Patreon, YouTube. That's important. That's where you're watching us right now, so you've probably found us already. We have a Patreon. You should look at it. And maybe, I don't know, maybe do something with it. If you want, there's a lot of cool stuff on there, I'm sure. Any comments, questions, quivers, shakes?
I hated all of that.
If not, next, big explosion. Did they recap? It's gonna be a big, fake explosion and a star wipe in there.
What story shall be sung today? One can never know how the melody might sound. Our adventurers have already begun to pluck the strings of their story, and their combined composition is unfolding like a road before us.
Arathia was a tough opponent, considering she had a literal god tethered to her, using abilities to copy herself, swap the room around, and counter most of our attacks and magic. However, when she tried to use Meteor Swarm and Codex counterspelled it, she cast Power Word Kill to kill Codex. This display left her wide open for myself and Maud to attack her while Finley revivified Codex back to life. As I hit Arathia with my magic, Maud took Seraphima's claw and revealed that all along, Maud was acting as an astral projection over top of Fiara to infiltrate her into the Onyx Obscurity and surprise Arathia. Fiara and her brothers found out in the Russet Waste, like Rush and Willow, they too were descendants of the divine blocking powers hailing from there, and Fiara used that to overpower Kessak and Arathia's connection, severing it with a blood wish from the claw. With Kessak disconnected from Arathia, he went behind the divine gate. Realizing she had nowhere near the power to stop us, Arathia yielded and handed over the hostages and the Donwa diamond she had. As we recovered the hostages and took Arathia as a prisoner of our own, Terrence tried to speak with his father Kylos, but despite not being lorded over by Arathia and Kessak anymore, he succumbed to the same wounds Gazania gave him when he originally died. But he left Terrence with the final words, saying he was proud of his son. We took Arathia and our friends to a base of meeting, an old barracks and connected prison in the 12th precinct, as we gathered with the rest of our allies. Balthazar was put on guarding Arathia in the prison as Fiara discussed next steps, but not after long she noticed Balthazar unconscious outside as we all rushed over. Inside the prison we were met with a truly horrible sight. The charred body of Arathia in the cell where we were keeping her. Codex saw Selmex and his sisters outside in the distance, where Selmex thanked her for taking out that pest before they vanished. Inside, Terrence noticed that Arathia had left markings in the char on the walls, the right of the Larakai druids to be unseen by the family of blood for 24 hours. That was as helpful as Arathia would be, though, for when I cast Speak with Dead on her, she gave Fiara and I no more information to assist us against the family of blood. Fiara stormed off in anger as Codex calmed her down and encouraged her that we had a real chance to stop the family of blood. Terrence and Ezra also shared a moment here. I won't say much else, but... Eventually, Salvador contacted Issa, saying that Pontiff Amnestria, Archbishop Beerus Azol, and King Gil were at the Auralite Altar Temple to discuss with us the threats to Zobraria. We teleported there with Yelena and Darian in their Bull Scarlet persona. Issa told Amnestria, Beerus, and Gil everything. Even that we wanted to trap the Fair Father in one of the remaining Dawnwood Diamonds to remove the power that it gave Selmex, Hila, Gazania, and Asta. However, during this time, we got another vision from Vivica's eyes, showing us who killed Arathia. It was none other than the Pontiff herself, who Issa had just told our entire plan to. She then killed Archbishop Azal and turned to hit King Gil next, implying she'd blame us for these deaths. She then noted that pushing her and her children to this point of violence was because of our meddling, and it didn't need to get this far. I'm assuming she's as lost as her children, but definitely must be the original mother twistedly wished back by Selmex, for she is nothing like the kind woman we saw in the vision. She then raised her hands as she began to cast a large, sun-like sphere, saying our blood would be used to reset the farm. This cannot be good.
Where we left off, Amnestria is sitting before you, and you watch like a small sun is appearing out of her hand. Gil is hiding behind Codex. Beerus Ozal's head is off. Elena is alive. Her arm is gone. And Salvador probably is cradling her. But she's holding this up, and she'll be like, the only ones that need to live, really, I think, are you, pointing at Terrence, and you, pointing at Shay, for now at least.
I look at Shay. I'm like...
She's still that sun is growing above her, and she looks at you, Shay, and goes, your mother didn't have to die. However, her killing your father made her useless. I would have liked to see what he would have done to this world. And you watch as the sun is just growing, and it is getting intensely hot, and Darian is going to cast a message to you. Codex and be like, Darian Scarlet says, get us out of here. You watch as she picks up a sending stone, and you just watch as she it's almost like she's Morse coding something, and that's all you really need to know. But she messages that to you as Amnestria is just making the sun grow, and she's saying that shit to... Actually saying that to Shay, saying I wanted your father to be left alive because he would have caused bloodshed, basically.
Terrence is going to grab Shay's hand, because I'm assuming they're kind of next to each other.
Yep.
And just squeezes it really tight. Just don't go or do anything crazy.
No. I don't have the spell slot to get Demiplane, and Teleportation Circle takes a minute, so unless you can buy me a minute, I'm not getting us out of here. I mean, I'm going to start casting Teleportation Circle, I guess, but it takes a minute for Codex to do that, so...
Wash is going to human shield in front of Codex so she doesn't get interrupted.
Sorry, just as a note, I'll be subtle spelling Teleportation Circle.
Got it.
So
I could have used him. Lots of bloodshed from that revenant. And you watch her face is kind of twitching a bit. She seems pissed. She's you basically poked Mama Bear.
Is that why you need me as well?
Just in case.
Just in case.
I'm giving you grace to let you live this long. I could just kill you now as well. I'm very close to killing all your friends.
That's true, but I think us causing more bloodshed for you might be a good thing, no?
You. Not them. The Balladors definitely have to go. Also, the Galilees. And the Hexaleap.
What?
Your brother's next.
Wait, Amnestria, what do you know of my father? I think you know more than I do.
Well, then maybe we can unlock that together.
Terrence, in another effort to buy time, if it seems after she says that, she's done talking, Terrence is gonna be like, why me? I'm just
like everyone else, I want to know that serum, and I will figure it out. And it's unlimited, right, Codex? You don't need 8 people, you can have more?
yeah, it's Teleportation Circle, they just have to be within 10 feet of me. So as she's starting to cast it, she'll just very quietly whisper to Wash and be like, get everyone close together.
Codex, you describe what happens as she's about to respond more to Terrence. You say what happens to get you guys out of there.
Oh, okay. As she's about to say something, and she whispers to Wash to get everybody together. I don't know if he just grabs people.
Yeah.
But she'll give him the trigger of now. As Wash kind of yanks everybody in, this the floor just cracks and water, hot pink water, comes up from the fissures and just swarms over all of us like a tsunami. And slaps into the ground and we're gone. And she'll immediately stop concentrating once we're...
Yeah, you'll watch as, the sun is coming closer and it's, kind of crashing, kind of like slowly coming out of her hand to crash towards you as you're gone. You guys watch as you all appear in there. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with Gil. The 10 of you appear in White Castle Keep as you also just kind of like flashes of lights happen as everybody that was in the den also appears in there, as if like Darian told them to all get there. So the Demardas are there. Loretta, Rush, Willow, Kryn, Yelena, Ezra, Hellowana, Dogma, Shaman Mod. Celeste is like, what the fuck is going on? She like comes downstairs. Fiara's like, what happened?
It's the Pontiff.
She's the mother.
Surprise.
Good.
And she tried to kill us with a giant sun.
Okay. Everybody into the courtyard. And Fiara's gonna go upstairs.
I think we should grab everything that we might need because I think we need to get out of here.
I don't think we'll be able to stay here for long, but I think this means we have to push forward with everything. Like right now. But let's gather and figure out what the fuck the next move is.
As you all gather to the courtyard, you'll see Fiara just standing there and she has the diamond hovering above her hand. And she's just kind of like standing there, looking at the diamond, as like Balthazar and Casimir are flanking her, just kind of like... They all kind of seem like... held breath. We have to do this now. I wish that Zoharis, the Fair Father, God of the Sun, were to replace Tal, the Terror Weaver, on the diamond in the Russet Waste, releasing Tal and releasing Gasha from this diamond, the God of Truth, Maxim's Eye. And you watch as the diamond just kind of like... And you watch as it kind of like shines and then explodes as the gold band around it kind of like unravels almost like it's like loose string. As you see this like lidless eye that just kind of boom, and it looks like it has like almost a rainbow prism as its iris. Like, and the pupil is red, that same red. And you watch as it just like blinks, and then disappears. And as it disappears, you watch as it almost like kind of like goes to the sun, like to eclipse the sun, and you watch as the sun erupts and kind of just, as darkness just covers everything. The sun is gone. Instantly, you hear what sound like sirens that just appear from like wherever, you don't know. As you hear Amnestria's voice. The fated fates have killed Archbishop Beerus and stolen the king of our land. And they've killed Zoharis, the Fair Father. We have to capture them.
Fuck this lady.
Codex.
Yeah.
This is Yelena. Do you have Wash's hole?
Why does everyone say it's a portable hole? Just say portable hole.
I need Wash's portable hole.
Wash still has his portable hole. He took it from me.
Here.
May I use his hole?
Oh
Can I
my
have some
god.
Give me a list. Myself, Ezra, and Dogma, we can go around and grab whoever we need to put in here. We can make this a sanctuary.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then the demi-plane inside the sanctuary, that would be really good. And so we can put your parents in there so they have space. I would say as many people as you can get, honestly.
Yeah.
And supplies.
Ezra's like, I know where your mom is. I'll go for your mom, and I'm going to contact my parents and my Axel. Fiara's going to be like, we do not have too much time. Do not dawdle. Go fast. Stay in the shadows. And you probably watch as like Yelena, Ezra, Rush, Willow, Kryn, and Dogma are going to run out. And Casimir's going to go with them, because Casimir can cast Teleportation Circle. Probably over like the next hour, 2 hours you guys have before Fiara's literally be like, we have to go. Oh shit, no, Casimir can't go. Fiara's going to send Casimir and immediately be like, shit, no, you have to decipher that. And Fiara's going to go. And they're going to use Wash's hole. They're going to really stretch it out. And they're going to get people in there.
The whole city's using your hole.
They're going to get as many people in Wash's hole as they can. Over the next hour, as the signal started going through Zobraria, the Fated Fates split up with the groups to go find their allies, friends, family, anyone they could save by putting into the demi-plane which Codex created at the bottom of the Pale White Castle Keep. So I was like, okay, so we're going into Wash's hole? What does that mean?
Terrence is gonna, grab his mom by the face.
Is his hole big enough?
It's fine. It is plenty big. He, grabs his mom by the face and is like, I'm sorry this is all coming out of nowhere, and I'm sorry that everything that you're involved in is crazy, and this is crazy.
Uh-huh.
I love you.
I love you.
Keep you safe.
I love you. I can't say the other thing because I don't know if I can keep you safe. I'm just kind of tiny.
You just have to stay safe. And he is holding her hands in his hands. Just stay here, and when the demi-plane pops up, you'll be able to be in there and be safe. You and Rory and everyone else, okay?
Okay.
And I promise when this is all over, I will tell you everything. Okay?
Yeah, okay. Do you think maybe this is the time that maybe you should have just done sex work with Shay instead of whatever's going on?
I think it might have been easier, Ma.
Fiara's gonna walk forward and be like, okay, we have to get to the other diamond in the Russet Waste. I know who needs to come, and I need to know who's staying behind. The Fated Fates, you're with me. Sham, Maud, Dogma, Helloana, Ezra, Yelena, Kryn, Willow, Rush, Loretta. I need you all with me. Everyone else, if you can stay and defend, or get in Wash's Hole.
Looking a little crowded.
You too! So all of us and the people she listed are going to the Russet Waste.
Yes. Salvador, Theodore, Axel, Kirik and Safi, Darian, Clea, Durin, Dwayne, probably Telemachus too, outside. Can you all defend the Pale White Castle Keep? Darian kind of walks forward and goes, yeah, we've decided to give the incantation to you to give you time. And Casimir's going to hand over the translated version. We don't know if only you can use it once, but we're giving it to you. We have a copy just in case, but I doubt Arathi would give us that big of a thing. Darian, nods. Okay. So it'll cover what? It'll cover the Pale White Castle Keep in, a bubble for a time? 24 hours, says Casimir. Alright. And after those 24 hours, good luck. Alright, families and whoever the fuck else is out here that I've never met. Can you hold your own? Coming from me, someone who works on the underside. And they're all like, yeah, this is what we got, so we'll try our best, says Darian. Terrence.
So the people at the keep are keeping the incantation to protect the keep.
So yes, so there's going to be people in the demi-plane through Wash's Hole, and they probably have at that point taken off the hole and given Wash's Hole to Darian. So Darian now owns Wash's Hole.
Right.
They assume that they probably will be able to get the demi-plane if they really want to, but they're kind of being we'll protect as much as they can. But they're going to keep the people in the demi-plane. They're going to use the incantation to make the keep and the people outside of the demi-plane hidden for the 24-hour time. And then once that 24 hours is up, they're assuming it's fight time. So they have 24 hours to prep for a fight, basically, while also protecting everybody in the demi-plane.
Gotcha.
Okay. I would use that now if I was you, and we gotta go.
Codex is gonna run and hug her dad's.
Yeah, hey, we got this. Believe in us. I didn't go to prison for nothing. On either side, they're gonna grab you and Dogma and hug you both. And you're gonna hear, Kirik be like, you guys got this. And Safi be like, I'm so proud of you both. I'm so proud of you both. I'm not going to cry, though, because I'm stronger than him anyway, so...
Right,
he pushes Kirik a bit. Safi pushes Kirik a bit. Fiara's like, we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to run. They're going to be after us. Get ready. Darian's like, one last thing. Don't fuck it up.
Stop.
Fiara, I guess, is going to lead the group.
We have definitely grabbed everything that we think we might need for the journey as well.
So, you guys exit out the front doors of the Pale White Castle Keep, and you see on the rooftops, probably within 60 feet, again, the same shadowy figures of Salmex, Aster, Hela, and Gazania. And you watch as you just see, thunk, thunk, thunk. As in front of you, you see the three vampire friendies. You see Celia, Cranar, and Bryson, their dead bodies as if they were sucked dry of their vampiric blood. As you just hear, I wish, from Salmex. You watch Ezra for the first time. He pulls what looks like this handkerchief out of his breast pocket, and as he pulls it, the armor goes around Ezra. Connie's armor. Yes. It looks a little different. It looks pretty similar, but different enough. Instead of a cowl with a hood, it's kind of just more of a cape cowl that kind of goes over it. He's gonna be like, we run, right? And he's just gonna start bolting, east towards because in the distance, as I've described it before, the Russet Waste is that Red Canyon area that you guys saw from the Mid-Nora Pass, but it's the one that has the red mountains and the sculpture of that dragon. So you can see it above the cityscape. You can see that red dragon carving into the mountain. And I was just we're running, right? And he's just going to start running, and Vichi's probably going to follow him. Fiara's going to be like, yes, go, as you're all running. Is anybody looking and then looking behind to see what they do? The floors?
I have Dimension Door, so I'm probably sticking around a little longer because I don't have to get such a head start, I guess. But
okay, I'm gonna roll something then. 25 to hit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta go to Gazania's stat block. Can you make a DC? Sorry, can you make a dex save too, please?
I got a 24.
Okay, you won't be knocked prone. 53 slashing damage.
Okay.
as she just kind of like rushes through and she's going to like clip the side of your, like she's like barely not hitting you, and she clips just like your other shoulder and just like whoosh, rips out a chunk on that side to match your first wound. Are you dimension dooring nowing?
Yes.
Okay, good.
She gets slashed, and then she just blinks to 500 feet the direction everyone else is running.
Got it. All right. Yeah, but as you're like peering at all of them, you don't. Gazania kind of slips by you as she slashes you, and then you don't see her anymore. And all you see is Aster still standing on the roofs. Salmex and Hela are gone.
Love that.
As you hear dogs coming from all sides. As you watch Aster, who's behind you, you watch as she casts something, and you just see a bunch of flowers start to appear and burst out these like pins of thorns from her dahlias. Aster, pink everywhere. I wish I could tune all your, like, what if like all your lights started to change? You watch as Aster raises her arms, and not only do all of the blood dogs start rushing towards not only you, but you assume the rest of the city, as you hear kind of screaming off in the distance and bloodshed occurring. You just watch as like vines and thorns of these like super invasive magical dahlias just start breaking through the earth and the cobblestone roads, as you, the Demardas, and everybody else in your current team just book it, running out of the burg, making your way eastward towards the russet waste, before eventually getting kind of to the outskirts of them. As you guys are all approaching this wall, and it's like this grand wall, you see like the red canyon mountains behind it, and you can see now that you're much closer, this huge mountain that has this like etched in dragon that is like now the tip of the mountain. It's fucking, I couldn't tell you how many stories high it is. It's huge. But as you guys get closer to the wall, you will watch as just like immediately you see like 50 archers just kind of whoosh, and you watch as Fiara like holds her hands up. I wish. Whoa, why is everyone else doing it? I'm back with the people I said I would. I need to speak to Kellabog. Now, as you watch, like, it looks like there must be some type of like staircase up to the side of this wall where this huge gate is, and you see a figure start to walk up. And it is a very familiar figure to everybody here, as you see the very slender half-orc woman known as Soom.
Oh, hey, Soom.
Yo.
Codex actually says.
You guys made it! Wow! Finley!
Yeah, we are in hot pursuit. Can we come in?
Yeah. And you watch as, like, she says, "It's good, guys, it's good." As they, like, kind of signal to open the gates, and the gates open, and they quickly, like, surround you and shuffle you in before the gates get whoosh, shut. And when you walk inside of this grand, it almost looks like, the best way I can say it is like almost like a Badlands Mecca. I can't explain it better than that, but it's kind of what it looks like. As you guys walk in, you do see there's, like, the shimmer of, like, a dome over all of what is the Rusted Waste. And you see standing there is Soom, and then you see two people standing next to Soom. There is a large, hulky, kind of older, red-skinned orc man, and then next to him, you see a slender copper dragonborn woman. Finley, you will recognize these people as your kind of adoptive parents, kind of pseudo. Soom, obviously, is your pseudo sister, as you said once before. These are her biological parents, your adoptive parents. Tor, the orc, and Ayessa is the dragonborn. Standing behind Ayessa is a much larger, older copper dragonborn man who has, like, funnily enough, wings. And he has almost kind of like this type of like scaly beard that looks it's not like Fu Manchu. I don't know. I think they're not Eastern dragonborns like Knuckle and Claw. Lever. But they, it's mostly kind of like a looks kind of like, the best way to describe it is like a scaly beard. And this is who you assume must be Kellabog, as you know, Finley, is Ayessa's dad. I don't like having this many people here. But if this is what we'll say for Zobraria, the Rust Waste bids you welcome. Don't do anything stupid. And he's just gonna like turn around and walk away, as Ayessa just kind of does like a sorry. Like she mouths sorry. And you watch this dragonborn woman run up to Finley and give you a big hug as Tor then hugs over you, and then Soom jumps on top of the three of you to give you all a hug.
Oh.
And he's just crying. His like shoulders are like moving up and down, like moving this like unit. Hi guys.
Hi. How have you been? Says Ayessa to you.
I've been good. I've been better but good. I'm a lot better now knowing that you guys are okay.
Well, we rolled the dice and got lucky. Dad let us in, so. And I don't think if we got in, then Fiara probably never would have been able to, neither Casimir or Balthazar. And Fiara kind of like comes up and gives Ayessa a hug and Tor a hug. As well as Sean goes up and gives them a hug, and Loretta gives them a hug, and Soom, because they're all martyrs. And Helwana. So a nice little tiny reunion before Fiara's like, okay, can we rest before we go to the other diamond? I know your father has the diamond and secure. Yeah, of course. Yeah, let me take you to the follow me. And she just like kind of gestures for everybody to go with you, and she takes you basically to almost like almost kind of Badland Viking-esque longhouse for you guys to like sit and drink, and for some to rest in the back room.
While we have just a little bit of downtime, are we long resting or short resting for this?
I'd probably say another short rest. No, you guys can long rest.
Shay would hang with Finley's adoptive family whenever she can, so she only needs the 4 hours of trance.
Yeah.
Finley is just laying on the ground.
Probably IS is playing with your hair.
And Shay's getting the whole down low on their whole family life.
Yeah, I mean, as Finley's laying there, he probably just sees ears enter his vision, and then Kodak's face, and she's like, "Hey,
Huh?
did you talk to Balthazar?"
He just gets really, really, really red. And it's just like, no, I have never met. Who is that?
Finley, we need to talk, says Balthazar.
He like gets up robotically, but just like stiffly turns about, just like, Alright, let's go that way.
Okay, who's on this list?
Right. Oh,
Please. The sky is dark and we don't have much time. Who's on this list?
Shay.
Shay.
You.
Me.
Dogma or Codex, I haven't asked either of them yet. Terrence.
Terrence.
And then me.
Okay. I'll go back up, Terrence.
Shay's sitting with Soomtor and Ayasa, just getting the whole down low.
Why are you gathering us specifically?
Balthazar gestures to Finley.
So I've got that thing that I can do if I have the rat people. I've spoken to Shay about it before. It's something my mom used to do when she would do rats, like druidic rats. She needed the rat people that are connected to her and close to her to fill different positions, those being, and he's going to gesture to Shay, shadows, the opposite of light. Then we have light, which is Balthazar, chance, which is Terrence, and divinity, which would be either an Asimar or something made by gods. So Codex and Dogma fit that as well.
So should we go get them and start this ritual?
Well, I was kind of getting everything together because I would talk with her, but and you see Fiara's like talking back and forth with Erkelabog, the leader of the Russell Waste, as far as you guys are all concerned. But they're going to be going to the Dawnwood to sap whatever power they can to do this reset you all described. So, I know that the Ignis Cal Druids had a way of, from what you told me, Finley, connecting to the Dawnwood. So maybe we can stop that sapping of power, negate it, bar them off, something. Unless you have a better idea, but the Dawnwood is definitely something they're going to be after. That stupid fucking tree.
The thing about that is it takes more than 2 druids to do it.
Okay.
And they would have to stay in Doshin more.
Okay.
Which means... Actually, I can do it. I can do it. I'm not going to doubt myself. I can do it.
Okay.
So we're doing this now.
Well, we'd have to go to Doshin Mall.
Oh, alright.
So back to the crater. Should we tell...
What I'm saying is, if I cast Demiplane inside a Demiplane, is that like putting a bag of holding inside a bag of holding and it'll explode?
Probably. I don't think anyone's ever tried to cast Demiplane instead of a Demiplane, because there's not necessarily... Wait, why would... Who taught you Demiplane?
I taught myself Demiplane, because I can read now, if you remember. But we already tried to use Wash's Hole, and that lets you split the Demiplane. So I'm thinking if you can cast Demiplane inside the Demiplane through Wash's Hole, like, then you don't have to be inside the Demiplane, so that if it collapses, we don't have to be inside it.
I mean, that's fair, but I never got to, analyze how powerful Wash's Hole is.
From the distance. You know what? I'm fine with it now. I'm fine with it. Keep saying that. This is great. I love this.
I'd really need to intimately study Wash's Hole to do that.
Yeah. I love that. That's great.
Yes.
I'm sure if we're trying to do, like, experimental magic like this, he would be more than happy to let you examine the hole.
His hole.
I just need him to show hole, like show me the hole.
You just really get in there.
Hi. I do have something to ask both of you. See, I've got this gang that I'm gathering.
I'm putting together a team.
And there's one more spot, and I think that you would both be perfect for it.
Kind of like Doggo puts up one finger and then one spot, 2 people.
Makes sense when I explain it. Right. So I've got behind me the people that fill their respective slots, their respective holes, if we're going with the conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
The last one that I need would be Divinity, which you were both made by Yofet.
Okay.
Can I ask what this is for?
Yeah, we were talking some really important whole conversation.
Codex, you know that previously I left to Doshin Moor to try and do a rite that would bring my family back, and I failed. But I think...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's alright. Failure is a part of life. I didn't blow up. That's great. But I figured out why I failed, and I feel like now is the perfect time, because if anybody thinks that I'm a capable, fearful...
Finley, the point.
There's a way that I can bring my family back, and then they can help us stop these guys from siphoning or sapping the Dawnwood of power. But I need...
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense to have both of us, right? Because then it's like one whole hex leap.
Yeah, so after, all the rest, after a long rest for everybody, when you wake up, Fiara will kind of, gather the lots of you. The collective, as well as Tori, Essa, and Zoom, and other people from the Russet Waste, with Erkelabog and her around the diamond. And you watch as she holds this diamond, and she's like, this has the Fair Father in it. We're going to keep this here, we think. Erkelabog is nods in agreement. I think our next stop is going to be going to Doshin Moor. Balthazar and I have talked about what Finley has told some of you. Obviously, they're going to try to sap power from the Dawnwood, because that's the only Zaharis they have left. And I'm sure they're collecting blood. I don't know what this reset will look like that they're planning, so they probably will be collecting a lot. But as long as we have this, we are good. And with that, I would like everybody to roll a perception check. Terrence.
24.
Wash.
10.
Shay.
27.
Codex.
11.
Issa.
23.
Finley.
30.
Okay, so, as, she finishes that and you see her, put the diamond back, floating between her and Erkelabog, you guys will notice that Issa's shadow looks weird. As you watch it start growing backwards, and out of the shadow you watch as something starts to form above. And this all happens pretty quickly, but this is the slow-mo version. As you hear Kazania say, Xalmex's wish, as she darts and grabs the diamond, and you, all in an instant, as you watch her slash Erkelabog's neck, and you watch as the whole dome breaks and she runs into the wild. Before you can even blink, Gazania is gone as she dives off the side of the Rusted Waste down to the cliffs below into the wilds. Chaos immediately ensues as Bernards overrun the area surrounding the Rusted Waste and try to barge to get in as the rest of you run down to catch up with Gazania. But before you can do anything, you see Gazania immediately next to Salmex standing there as Bernards are all running around, and she hands him the diamond. What a sight to see. This is the culmination of your entire plan, yes? Someone's a blabbermouth, as he points at Issa. I had no idea the gods were connected to it, but then you said something in the fight club, and then you re-upped and said it to our mother. But here's the thing that you don't realize. And you watch as he takes the diamond and he starts cracking it, and it starts and he is going to, as he breaks the diamond. The bright white light of the crack flashes, and you're not sure if shrapnel moves or what. You don't even see what happens to the shrapnel of the diamond. You'll watch as he holds just the gold that was wrapped around the diamond. Lest you forget, I am a diamond myself. And you watch as he puts it on like a crown. And now I have Zaharis' power. Good luck. And you watch as him and Gazania zip away. The blood arms fall over them, and then they just are gone. There are Bernards that are rushing kind of a little bit off in the distance, but they mostly seem to be funneling into the Russet Waste to overtake it. I would say at this point, probably so who you have with you, it's the 6 of you, the 3 Damartas, Loretta, Rush, Willow, Yelena, Ezra, Halawana, Dogma, Shaman Mod. Kryn is staying behind to help Ayessa, Suman, Tor, and the rest of the Russet Waste. So she is staying behind. With that, I think Fiara is going to look at all of you and say, we have no time, we have to go to Doshin Moor. And she's going to start dashing northwest as you guys run for about an hour, intermittently, but it's not great, it's not fun. Probably a lot of kicking off dogs. There's probably a couple times where you'll have to there's gonna have to be a stop for I don't know, Codex will fall and people will have to you'll have to kind of get in a group as you're fighting off dogs for a bit. A lot of that for happening for basically an hour. A couple times maybe you'll get behind little tiny hills that you can hide from the dogs, making your way towards Haldy Hills, which is on the edge of Doshin Moor, as you remember when you guys were at the fight club. As you guys approach Haldy Hills, which is kind of these larger rolling hills in the wilds, there will be a part in which I want Finley and Fiara to both roll investigations, please.
19.
Okay, I got a 18. So the two of you, being familiar with this area, know that there is a hidden path in which you are blocked on either side by the hills. So you will take the party through that. And it will not take too much more time as you guys are approaching the crater at Doshin Moor again. But you guys are probably all feeling not great and rough. You didn't have time to really discuss what the fuck happened. It was kind of just Fiora was like, we have to go. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Terrence is gonna sidle up next to Finley.
You'll notice that he's like opening and closing his hands, and just kind of like his eyes are, like swirling around and like just like.
Probably the Demardas are also up there with you.
If you'll let him, Terrence is going to like try and slide his hand into your hand while it's open, so it closes around his hand.
Oh yeah, it goes in, no resistance, just like the second it gets in, it's like very like gently like squeezing it.
Cinnamon is probably also like at this point nestled into Shay, kind of like shaking a little, and V2 is probably just falling behind.
Finley?
Yeah. Hi. Oh, hello.
Are you okay? No, but that's fine.
It's fine. We'll be all right. There's just a lot riding on this, and a little something extra now that I'm a little bit worried about. I
just wanted to, when we get there, just tell us where to go, and we will do whatever you need us to. Is there anything like special that I need to do, or do we just need to stand there?
When you get there, nothing too special. But can you do something for me now?
Yeah, of course.
Can I have a hug?
Terrence smiles and is like, yes. And he gives Finley a hug. His arms are really thin. But listen, I don't know what it means. He says, kind of like looking over his shoulder, now that the diamond is destroyed. But
the good thing is I have a plan for that. The bad thing is it only works if this works.
Okay.
But that also means that if it works, hooray.
Then we'll just have to make this work.
Finley, what? Like Fiora probably like turns her head, like her face is like she's like it's like if someone says the wrong thing, she'll blow up. Like she's like so it looks like she is like trying to hold back fear, concern, because obviously the diamond's gone. But she kind of like looks over to you and she's like, "What? Sorry. From what Balthazar and I talked about, I knew that we were going to do something to try to connect to the Dawnwood to maybe divert the power away from what they would sap. But now that they have the Fair Father, it's like she's like trying to find the words of like, I don't know now.
So we have in the Ignis Cal Druids a rat to channel Zaharis, kind of channel him to the Dawnwood, but we do it from Doshin Moor for harvest season that require 5 Ignis Cal bloodline members to perform it naturally, of course, after the Cosmic Divide that kind of went away, after all the greater gods were either put behind the Divine Gate or now we know put into diamonds as trespasser gods were. But I think now might be the perfect circumstance to do it, especially now. I think just getting him into the Dawnwood out of Salmex is just the best option, but I can't do it alone.
We don't have 5 Ignis Cal Druids. Getting confused and shaking her head, she says, who? And you watch as Balthazar just grabs her hand and goes, his family. Okay. I guess it's the best bet. And it puts him in the Dawnwood?
Yeah. The only contingency would be that someone would probably have to touch it, which would probably be me.
Okay. Kind of like nods and continues walking forward.
Kind of like looks over the chair, just like, I forgot to tell Fiora.
I mean, it sounds as good of a plan as any.
And it'll work.
It'll work.
Shay, like, slides her arm under your other arm that Terrence isn't holding on to. I have faith in you, Finley. This will be fine.
Alright, so, as you guys kind of, like, make your way through the, like, covered passage of the Holly Hills, you see the outer edge of the crater that you once saw before where the Fight Club was. Currently, now, it is desolate. It is bad. Like it looks like the little shanty town that was moved in has been moved out, like completely. But as you guys get to like back this huge crater of soot, basically, Finley, you probably lead the pack as like it being desolate again. I think weirdly enough, it not being desolate, it having the false ivories in it, made the blow of being there less intense. But now it looks like exactly as you remember last being here when you were 10 years old. It's just kind of like that slow descent into the center of just ash and soot and burnt sand, and probably like now weather differences and time differences, of course. But yeah, it's there's a moment of pause probably before you like, okay, and you probably let go of like Shay and Terrence's hand as like Cinnamon probably just like jumps out of Shay's arms and like next to you, probably like just looks up to you. If you look down to him, breathe out as you walk through, and you kind of remember, and from this nature roll, like you'll kind of almost see like just to your vision, arcanic like fire ruins of where everything was. You make your way to where you remember the placement of the stance for the right was. To everybody else, it just looks like you've just chosen a random part of the crater, but you know where it is, where it was from what you remember. Probably by this time, as well, as you're like having this moment, Casimir probably gonna be like, we should make camp here between the hills so we are safe. So for those who aren't doing the rites, let's just make camp here and rest.
Like leading up to it, like Finley's probably seeing all these things, and he's probably like tracing like the flames of like these buildings that he knew. And he's just going to get to the place where he remembers these rites taking place, and he's going to stand in the center, and he's just going to kind of like sit there and just kind of like put a hand on Cinnamon's head and just kind of like trace down his neck, and he's going to turn to the others, like the 5 of them, and he's going to just like guide them into the places that they need to be. And for everybody looking, he's going to like put Cinnamon down, and you're going to notice that it looks like a hand. Finley's in the palm, the thumb is Cinnamon, index finger, middle, ring, and pinky. He's just going to say, these rats began several generations ago with the progenitor of the Igniscal Druids, lost to time by now, but reaching for the sun, not asking for any assistance of divinity or any kind of intervention, but just looking for the warmth of the sun. And maybe out of a moment of pity, or just, I don't know, Zaharis gave this druid the power of the sun. Not full control, but the power to survive, make do, grow. And it's with this hand outstretched towards the beauty of nature and the warmth of flame that we stand here today. And there'll be like a gentle flame around him that will kind of like go towards all of you. All I need from you guys is to think of your warmest thought. Whenever it was, whoever was there, I need you to think of the happiest time of your life. Think of the brightest light. But also, whatever you think of, just know that we're all going to feel it. Together. We're all going to know it.
I do have a question, says Balthazar. How long do we expect this rite to take?
The sun is gone. So I can't really gauge how long it should take. Normally it would take about 30 minutes to an hour, but it could take a little longer than that. But we've got 16 more hours till the rat and the bird stops, so we've got time for them to still be safe while we do this.
If Arathia didn't lie about it. Hi, I know we've never talked about this, but can we try being positive?
Posse vibes only, Balthy.
Do you watch as like Balthazar probably just like look over to like the survival camp group? He probably sends like quick cast message, and he messages something to Fiara, and for everyone back there, Fiara would be like probably go up to Yelena and Halawana and just be like, can we cast something to make it seem like we're not here? Because there's obviously dogs around. And then Yelena and Halawana are like, okay, yeah. As they kind of like go out to start like casting something to make you guys as unseen as possible, as they then put Rush and Willow in charge of like taking post. And then Balthazar will look back at you and just like, he'll just nod.
And he's going to look to Codex and just kind of, when you wished me back through the immolator, you said you tried to bring them back as well. Did you see anything specific when you tried?
I mean, I saw them, like, in good fire, like cradled in good fire, not bad fire, because, usually people that are on fire, it's sometimes bad, but this was, like, good fire.
Kind of laughs, exhales, just like, I think I might not have been in the best place when I tried this before, because I think this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I think they've been around the whole time, so I think this might be easier than I'm thinking it'll be. This place is the source of my darkest day, but also my, looks over at Cinnamon, happiest moment.
All right.
So now everybody just feel. And as he says that, like, the flame gets bigger and kind of like connects to all of you, and when it does, you see what he was seeing previously. The, like, as sort of like outlined in flames, the entire village settlement of Doshin Moor outlined before you, with little like flames like moving throughout it, as he's going to just like think of his happiest moment, his like brightest feeling. And so you're all going to just hear a very soft woman's voice singing a lullaby, as it's like the white sheet with the woman underneath it moment in movies. It's the warmth that those moments are supposed to like elicit in those scenes. You just like feel a hand like brushing your forehead and your hair, and you see Liliana Galilei singing a warm little lullaby as everyone starts to cry.
Yeah, you all start to kind of feel like what Finley feels, and as you see the flame kind of like silhouettes of everything, or outlines, if you will, you watch as like it's almost like you can see what was Doshin Moor once, and instead of seeing like the outstretches of the wild, you see what looked like plain lands, and like kind of like far out in the distance, it's just like a wreath of flame as like your background. But again, good fire. And what you see standing with each of you, outlines of tall firbolgs wreathed in flame. And you watch as these outlines kind of fully start to like cinder from the bottom until they make these full forms. And as that happens, the vision kind of dissipates. For everybody who was outside, this took 4 hours. For you all, it seems like it was a minute. There is kind of like, as these figures appear, there is kind of like this like a fire shockwave that overcasts all of the people in the ritual, as well as all of the people who like have made camp between the little parts of Holiday Hills, and it will fully heal everybody up. As you remember,
Right.
Finley's fire does heal. Standing in the places, as Finley described earlier, Finley, would you like to describe these people that are now standing near you, where Cinnamon is, where Shay is, where Terrence is, where Balthazar is, and where Codex and Dogma are?
Yeah. So as Finley kind of opens his eyes after feeling that like big boom and feeling healed and rejuvenated, he is met eye to eye with his mother, Liliana Galilei. She looks kind of similar to Finley. She has the same color blonde that he does. It's incredibly long. It reaches the ground and then keeps going. About halfway down, it does have that same burnt red that Finley's had after he performed the rite. But it's clear that, like, over time it's grown out, and she has aged. She's a very muscular build. She's more muscular than Issa, Shay, Codex. She's a very buff woman. She has very kind eyes that are ochre in color, kind of gold like the sun. And then, also Liliana stands 7'7". In Cinnamon's position is Finley's youngest sibling, his brother, Ronan. Ronan stands about 7'4". He doesn't really have a lot of, like, discernible, noticeable traits about him, because for the podcast, Ronan was 1 day old when he died. The day of the Red Sun was where Shay is standing next to her, or standing across from her face to face, is Finley's oldest younger sister, Fina. Codex and Dogma have Anya. Terrence has Neve, and standing across from Balthazar is Finnegan, Finley's father. But Fina, Anya, and Neve are strikingly identical. They are impossible to discern a difference between them unless they style their hair differently, and that's how you know who is who. But they all stand 7 foot. They're the shortest of the Galileis. And then standing across from Balthazar, standing 7'3", just kind of like looking down at him, is the scariest, most intimidating man that Finley has ever seen. He is 7'3". He has strawberry blonde hair in a shorter style with gray-white streaks in it. He has a very well-groomed beard and a very intimidating resting face. But the moment he is back and met face-to-face with Balthazar, he immediately starts to grin, and as that is his more comfortable resting facial expression. But he has bright blue eyes that match Finley's perfectly, and it's where Finley gets his eye shape from.
Yeah. So as they all kind of just like form, and for anybody who's in the survival camp, you'll just see them kind of like from feet to head, you'll see like them form out of flame. And you'll watch as Liliana, like, just immediately, like, kind of like, she has a soft smile and she'll walk up to you, Finley, and just kind of like clasp your hands as, without really paying any mind to like the people who are sitting in those spaces, you'll watch as like the rest of your family just kind of like come up to like kind of gather and like hug around you, as like she's probably like at the center holding you and the rest are hugging around you, as she just says, I always knew you could do it.
Really?
So, little flame, as she like picks up your head, obviously we look a little different. We've been following you for a while. We were hoping your friend could see us, but I guess not, because the riot and all. But she like point at Shay.
Shay's like, damn it.
looks like we need to go talk to these people to figure out what to do, because we're all caught up. We've been following you. And she's just going to kiss your forehead, and she's going to go down and, like, grab Cinnamon and, like, pet Cinnamon, and Cinnamon just, like, nestles into her, and she'll put Cinnamon in your hands as, like, you probably just have, like, a moment with, like your other family, but she's going to walk immediately up to Fiara, and she'll just give Fiara this huge hug and be like, thank you for looking after my boy. Yeah. So you'll have Finnegan, Anya, Fina, Ronan, and Eve. They'll be, like, kind of, like, around you, just kind of hugging you.
And it's probably just, like, bawling. Like, baby bawling. He didn't think he could do this. He's gonna be honest. He didn't believe in himself.
No tears, your dad says. It's fine. You think your mother would blow up the entire Doshin Moor just to kill us all? It's always been part of the rite. It's always been part of the plan. Fuck that Tara Crusoe, to be honest. We were kind of hoping that, of course, you would survive what you did. And he kind of, like, does that, like, small little, like, chin punch.
Laughs. And, like, he feels like he's 10 years old again.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, someone could have told me anything.
No time.
And he's gonna, like, kind of, like, wipe the tears and just, like, look at his siblings and be like, you're all so big.
Like, they all, like you watch Ronan is, like, trying to find words, because it looks like he's never spoken, because he's been, like, a growing ghost for 50 years, basically. And he's just kind of like, where's the sun?
Oh, don't you worry about that. We're gonna figure everything out. We've got this taken care of. We're just small steps.
Yeah, you watch as, like, Neve will probably put her arm around Ronan and be like, it's okay. He's got it. I mean, that's why we're here. We've been waiting for this. It's no big deal. And now we have to do something big, which I guess Mom was looking after with Miss? What's her name?
Oh, Fiara.
Okay, yeah. It's kind of warbly over there, so got bits and pieces. During this moment, Shay, you feel a ping in your head of sending as Hal says, I'm with your sister. Also, the two monks you saved from the Onyx Obscurity. It is overrunning here, and from what it sounds like the Berg, we'll be at the wall of the 12th. Meet us here. The Dawnwood. It doesn't look good. Her family's safe, but she wanted to help.
Shay's just gonna respond with a thank you. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Shay's gonna tell Fiara first, and then the whole group that's there, but she's gonna make sure that Fiara knows. Hal just contacted me. He says to meet them at the wall of the 12th.
Okay.
Apparently the Dawnwood does not look good, and everything around them.
Okay. Alright, well then. And you watch, like, Fiara's eyes, like, widen as if you turn where her eyes are looking off to, you'll see, like, off in the distance, it looks like a swarm. Alright, so sorry to cut your family reunion short, but...
It's fine.
You do see the dog, like, in the distance, the dogs are, like, running towards you, as also you see glint, 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 glint of claws in the distance, shining in the darkness. You're assuming it's Kazania again, coming towards you. Probably, like, Fiara and Balthazar, like, everybody pack up, we have to go! And, like, Fiara will, like, look to the Gaules and be like, I don't know how to keep you safe and keep the ritual going, because I'm assuming you'll be stuck here while the rite's happening. And she's like, yeah, we have to stay here. You'll see Rush and Willow look at each other. We'll stay. And there's probably, like, a little bit of, like, arguing back and forth, too. And you'll watch as they're, like, kind of, like, arguing, like, there's kind of, like, no, yes, no, no. Loretta will also walk up with them and be like, I'm staying as well. And Sean will be like, what are you doing? He took care of us like we were family, pointing at Finley. It's only fair if I do the same. The rest of you go. Rush kind of, like, looks to her and nods, and Willow goes, we'll be fine. We've got this. And you watch as the two of them turn into huge direwolf werewolves, basically. And Loretta just kind of, like, stands there, and you watch as she, like, weaves some type of magic in her hand. Liliana, Finley's mother, will, like, nod to them, like, in, like, a nod of thanks, as they're in their positions where Codex, Dogma, Terrence, Balthazar, Shay, and Finley, and Cinnamon were, as Fiara just gives them a nod.
Finley's gonna just, like, run up to them, and he's gonna, like, put a hand on Lori and just kind of, like, nod.
Huh, I've got this. I've been through worse. If I can handle fucking Arathia Burke, I can handle anything.
You fucked Arathia Burke?
If I can fuck Arathia Burke, I can fuck anything.
Finley's also gonna go up to Rush and Willow and kind of, like, bring both of their big wolf bodies into a hug. And he's gonna, like, hug both of them and just be like, be safe.
And, like, your family will look at you, they'll, like, kind of all nod, and you'll just feel, like, this kind of, like, warm fire feel.
Then they'll, like, look to them and just kind of like, you're in good hands.
Alright, so, You will all
As
start...
we run away.
Yep.
As we run off, Codex is gonna yell, "Good luck, monster chasers!" And she'll like shoot a wink at Willow.
Rush will snarl and bark, but like you watch as she just starts to like go around the people. As like you watch the flames start to happen from the Galilees, as Rush and Willow will probably like surround around them to keep like distance, and Lori is just standing there like with magic ready. Alrighty, so this is gonna be the crazy rush to the clock. So, just a reminder, who you have with you now is Yelena, Ezra, Heloana, Dogma, Shaman Mod, and the Demardas, of course. You will be meeting up with Hal, Ish, Kuzan, and Taran. So same thing. As you guys are running, just dogs all around. Gazania is going to not come towards any of you, and it's kind of a little terrifying as you guys are running. She kind of goes around, and it looks like she goes past you to go towards the Galilees, Rush, Willow, and Loretta, which is not good. Finley, as you're running, it seems that the casting is working for whatever their right is, and you feel in your left hand, you watch as just like a flame starts to appear, like outlining your hand magically. But as you guys are running, you will avoid all the Bernards as you guys kind of like run through the wilds into the Berg. The Berg looks decimated. Buildings are fucking destroyed. Dogs are running everywhere. You see dahlias everywhere, and like the overgrowth of dahlias and like dirt and roots everywhere. It looks like it's like a fucking clusterfuck. The walls to the 12th to get in from the wilds broken, because there is that like little mountainous, like you have to kind of climb up a little bit of a mountain to get into the wall. But the wall is fucking busted, and it looks like some of the stones of the wall hits like the plain lands of the wilds. So let's say it's like 100 feet from the bottom of the mountain area, the kind of like craggy rocks you have to climb up to get to the wall. It looks like where that wall is at the top of, let's say, 60, 80 feet, fell whatever the fucking Pythagorean theorem distance all the way to the grounds of the sand of the wilds. Probably takes about like 20 minutes to like get to the wall of the 12th, at the north of the 12th precinct. But yeah, the Berg is decimated. You probably run past what used to be the den, and it looks like it's been fucking ripped apart by dogs and maybe Kazania. No blood anywhere, but you do see remnants of all three flowers. So you see Kazania flowers, which is what she's named after. You see Helibarines, which is what Hela's named after, and you see Astrael dahlias. So it's not good. But as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 15 of you are dashing. Shay, I'm going to just say that you take lead on this because you know, like you're the one who climbs the walls to the grove all the time. As you take lead and you're kind of like dashing everybody through the Berg, you'll get to the wall. As you'll see, just like kind of up, you'll see standing on the wall are Hal and Ishnalia, Shay's sister. They'll just be like, "We have to go, get in!" As you guys will like probably jump over with Shay's help into the grove. The grove seems to be overgrown at this point. There are vines everywhere, thorned. There's bramble everywhere, and you see in the very far distance a faint glow. You're assuming some at the Dawnwood. Taran and Kuzan are fighting back Bernards, and they seem to stay there to keep Bernards off of you as you guys keep going. So you kind of quick see them. There's like a high bye as you run past Taran and Kuzan, who are fighting off dogs with some other monks to keep a path for you. As you guys are running through, and like you're kind of getting deterred by Bernards, so you're like dash the other way and get out the other way. There is a point where it just looks like there's a wall of dahlias as you guys are stopped, and you watch as they form around you in this circle, and Aster will step out. Where do we think we're going? What? Cat got your tongue?
Finley just points.
Yeah, Finley just points past her.
We're going past
that
you.
way.
Oh, I don't think you are.
Well, I do.
As she'll whistle, and you'll just watch like Bernard slowly come through like the walls of dahlias, and there's 40 of them.
God damn, fight your own battles.
Okay. For saying that, make a dex.
Wash, stop staying stupid shit.
Make a strength save, actually.
23.
Okay, you will save, but you'll watch as it looks like her scarf basically elongates and gets to Wash, and you'll watch as it like wraps around his neck and just like kind of like almost like fucking swing dance spins him as you'll hit one of the walls. You will take 1 damage, half of 2. But you'll probably, like, just for flavor and fun, you'll probably like knocked down as you're getting back up, and probably someone's helping you back up. You'll watch as probably Fiar will like shoot you all like a look and be like, "We don't have time for this." As you'll. Terrence, I'm just assuming for this time, like, Ezra is holding your hand. Ezra is going to hit the armor as V2 comes off, and he's going to look to Heloana, and Yelena's going to give them a look and be like, "We got her."
Terrence is like,
He's going to look at you and be like, "You need to go. It doesn't matter for us. You guys need to get there."
Okay, and he grabs his face and he kisses him. Go!
I'm so sorry. The helmet's on?
Nah, never mind. You wouldn't do that.
Do it anyway.
It's the helmet, you coward!
Helmet.
Okay, you're wearing a helmet, so this is stupid. And he grabs his face and he kisses it.
Halawana will like kind of give you a squeeze in your hand, Terrence, and then also like go to Finley and give him a squeeze. Yelena will like be like, "Come on, I'm your professor. I got this." As she looks at you, Shay, and then you watch as she gives Dogma a squeeze of the hand. You're like, wait, what? You'll watch as Halawana, her hand kind of goes whoosh as she'll like make this like almost like sickly like gray and green Eldritch Blast as she's going to fling it at Aster's face. As you'll watch Ezra kind of pull out what looks like this like it's like this mace that kind of goes and it has like this giant hammerhead as he like runs towards Aster, and Yelena will start to like cast like entangling vines towards Aster. I'm gonna say the Eldritch Blast will hit Aster as the wall dissipates and feels like we have to go. Alrighty. As you keep going, you will then see as the vines and the brush and the bramble will then surround all of you in a very similar way that Aster did. You watch as Gila kind of walks in and says, "Oh, you're all going to make such a beautiful garden for me. You know who I'd really like to see become something beautiful?" And you watch as she just like kind of unfurls her finger. It's kind of like this, and she points at Ishnalia. You'll watch as Hal walks in front of Ishnalia, and then Ish is probably going to give you a look and be like, "Sister of mine, go. I have this fucking cunt."
Oh, I know you do. She like nods at her sister and glares at Elo.
Yeah, Hal is going to look at you two and be like, "Me too."
She's gonna kiss him. You two better keep each other safe.
I'll keep him safe, and Dogger's going to walk up too.
I kiss him.
No.
I'm just
And Dogger's like, "I got it. You guys go." And he's just, you watch as like he's going to be, like this book appears and you watch as he starts to cast something that is like this like dark black gray like soot looking spell that comes to his finger. And you watch as Hal is going to, his wings are going to unfurl, and Ish, you watch as she just like kind of like almost like black sludge just disappears, and she comes behind Gila and just knocks her in the back of the head with her elbow. And Gila like going, "Oh, I love when they fight back," as the bramble will fall away and Finley points and you all run.
Codex isn't gonna say anything. She's just gonna like point at Dogma, like gesture back to her eyes, and then point back at him like, "We got this."
Yeah, he's gonna do
just like spread off
with his other hand, like because he has the one that has like basically the finger of death happening. You'll watch as like he like does the same thing back, and you watch as his eyes glint pink to you.
Keep running.
All right, this time you will walk into a portion of the grove that is cleared of bramble, cleared of brush, twigs on the ground. As you'll just like watch as like Gazania is just standing there. You'll watch as she just like kind of outstretches her hands and just ching! Shaman and Maud will look at each other. They will walk forward. "We got this. Yeah, go kill them all or whatever. Yeah, we got this. Go." When you'll watch as like Fiara will like kind of like, "Okay," and you'll watch as like she kind of like clasps each of their hands. As you'll see Maud is going to like quick try to throw a type of firebolt at Gazania, which she just ching, and it kind of goes away. And during that time, literally Sham grabs fucking dirt and throws it at her face. And she's like, and you'll watch as the two claws kind of go up, which gives you clear to run.
Terrence will look at Sham and be like, "Think smart, drink smart, act smart," and keep running.
Oh,
don't fuck up! Shay is still probably leading as you guys are going through. You will see there is this like kind of like orangey glow in the very dark woods you are in, which you assume must be the Dawnwood. And as you guys kind of like all rush in, the 6 of you plus the 3 Demardas all rush in, you will see, and it probably takes about 5-10 minutes, like it takes a little bit of time. You'll see Amnestria standing at the base of the tree with Salmex kind of like on it, kind of holding it. Like there's probably just like this pause of nothing as slowly you'll watch Gazania, Gila, and Aster walk back in. And Salmex will be like, "It's time to bleed." I think Fiara is going to walk forward first. You watch as Fiara walks forward and she just says, "You destroyed our city and all of our people." And Salmex will kind of like walk a little bit forward, and you watch as like his arms kind of like the blood transparent arms kind of unfurl behind him, and he kind of like puts a hand to his chin and he just says, "Oh no, darling, that wasn't, I mean, sure, we were part of it, but that was the people of the Berg. That was Berengar Bart. That was the religious type," as he kind of like gestures to the crowd. "All we did was feed into their innate wants. I'd say we're more symbiotic. You're all going to pay. Not the Berg. You don't want the Berg to pay. It will too, but you're the first pin that has to fall." You just like kind of see as like Aster, Gazania, and Gila just all smile, and Amnestria is just staring you down. The Dawnwood also, just to describe what the Dawnwood looks like as you guys are standing there in this like impossible tiny grove area, because the grove can also be a tiny area, but it looks like there have been like branches and like parts of the Dawnwood stripped and ripped off that have been like devoid, like sapped of energy, if you will. And Salmex still has the gold crown, if you will. Finley, I'm assuming you're hiding your hand behind your back.
Yeah.
Fiara will look back to you, Finley, and give you like a nod, and you watch as she goes, "First, let's bring you down to our level a little bit." And you watch she puts out her hand, and you see like that negation magic that Willow did happen. As I'm going to roll, Finley, what are you doing?
As she kind of like looks back and then holds up that negation magic.
I got a natural 20.
Okay, good.
I was like looking at that.
Yeah.
I might change what I'm doing. But as he kind of like sees this happen, he's just going to like fake dash forward and then cast travel via plants on the dead tree beneath him, fall into that, and then come out of the Dawnwood with his left hand on it.
Yeah, that's cool as hell.
Does Cinnamon go with you, or does he stay?
Cinnamon stays.
I love the fake out too. That's so like,
Yeah.
like
Break his ankles.
You watch as like Fiara, like it's kind of like this, like almost like kind of like light white magic that kind of just like vroom. You watch as she does that, and these like kind of like rings of white are like hitting them, but they're like all 5 of them. So Salmex, Aster, Gazania, Gila, and Nestria. As Finley kind of goes whoop, and you're right next to the Dawnwood, and then what do you do?
He's just gonna like come out of the Dawnwood and then just slam his hand down and just kind of like hope that it's still going.
Finley, as you boom, you watch as like Finley's hand fire just like cascades over the Dawnwood, and you watch as like Fiara, she's still doing that, which is holding them there, and then you watch as Casimir and Balthazar will walk forward and they will cast something that looks like it's restraining the 5 of them down, and as you slap the tree and fire cascades over the tree, you watch as like Salmex is like no, as you see the gold around his head will dissipate and it will go into the Dawnwood as the Dawnwood starts to light up as if the sun goes through it. Immediately, you will watch then as Salmex will like move his hand kind of almost in slow-mo. It's almost like slow time for them. And as that happens, and it will cut the divine negation magic in half. And Fiara, Casimir, and Balthazar will all knock back. And you will see he goes, "Doesn't matter, I still have some of the power. So you know what I wish? Fiara Tomata, I wish you would die and never come back." I need to make a roll for Fiara. Blow on the dice.
Nothing, it's good.
Another nat 20, I'm gonna say it.
You watch as when Salmex casts that, or says that, you watch as Fiara, like, as her arms start to turn bloody and red as she kind of starts to, like, bubble away, and she, like, turns to her brothers and then pops. Fiara's gone. Casimir and Balthazar will run to Salmex as like they both let out like a yell, and Salmex will be like, "And you children of darkness who have never worshipped the sun god, I wish you would be in an eternal darkness, alive, forever. Darkness, nothing, paralyzed." And I'm gonna roll for them. I got a 4 and a critical fail.
You rolled so well before.
I know.
Uh-huh.
As he casts... Oh, what?
I have a question.
Yeah?
Does Balthazar's wish with Levette count as worshipping the god of the sun?
Yeah. I've got nothing for Casimir, but the Levette thing is a good... I have nothing for Casimir, but the Levette thing is a good point.
Does that change anything? Because I know that's where a lot of his power comes from.
Fine, I'll give them both advantage. I'm gonna roll and try to get this going so I don't, like, start breaking down, because... Okay, natural 20 for Balthazar, 8 for Casimir. Damn. So you watch as he moves his hands, and he will go like this, and you see as darkness hits both of their faces. For Balthazar, I'll say you watch as this golden woman kind of peers out and pushes it away, but they still both get flung through the grove to either side. They're gone, as far as you're aware. Okay, so, Salmex is then going to look at all of you, and he says, "We're so glad you could have come. The blood you all have from the diamonds will help us reset this world." And that's for today's session.
The Table is Yours releases episodes in video and podcast format every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. You can follow The Table is Yours everywhere by the handle @TTIYDND. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the table next time.